Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
And welcome to Newsline, live from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And joining me this morning is Mr. Rex Clementine, the sports editor of the Island newspaper. Good morning, Mr. Clementine.
Good morning to you.
And how is the world of cricket?
It's quite good. The national team is in Zimbabwe at the moment. They've just lost a game to West Indies. There's a test match going on between India and England, and another test happening between New Zealand and Pakistan. So a lot of activities going around the world.
A lot of action.
Exactly.
Why is Sri Lanka not faring too well, generally?
I think, obviously, you don't have the captain and the vice captain. Dinesh Chandimal and Angelo Matthews are both injured, and a couple of fast bowlers are injured too. So these injuries factors matter a lot, and I think due to the injuries there's a bit of a slip of form, and hopefully all these guys will be back in action by the time we go to South Africa at the end of the year. They'll play the Boxing Day test match there, and the fortunes will come good.
And how is our cricket faring with the retirement of some of the world's greats like Murali and Kumar and so on?
Yeah.
How is that impacting on our team?
Yeah, I think Kumar Mahela and Dilshan, they just finished their careers. It's been a year or so since all three of them retired. Obviously, these are big shoes to be filled, and there'll be a bit of a struggle. But having said that, some of the young talents that have emerged over the last 6 months, guys like Dhananjali Silva and Kusal Mendis, I think they are made up for international cricket, and a lot of big things can be expected from these guys. We've just whitewashed Australia. Great achievement. These are the kind of things that you dream of, whitewashing Australia. It was a remarkable achievement, fantastic team game, and I think with a couple of more years the team will be stronger, and I think the bigger picture is they're targeting at the 2019 World Cup.
I was about to ask you, what about the build-up to the 2019 World Cup?
I think it's a long way off. I think they've done the right thing. What they've done is to target the next year's Champions Trophy first. That's their short-term goal. I think they're working towards it. A couple of guys who are sort of injured, they're not rushing, because they want them fit and focused for the 2017 Champions Trophy, which will also happen in England, with 8 teams participating. Once the Champions Trophy is over, they will assess as to how they have progressed and what need to be done, and they'll then head towards the World Cup. I think we're very fortunate to have a coach of the caliber of Graham Ford. Ford, during his previous stint, did wonders with the national team, and he's back again as well. He started the stint early this year, and he's doing some very good things. Things like getting the fast bowlers fit, and it's not obviously it's purview, but I think some of the things that he has done is requesting the trainers to work more on the fitness of the fast bowlers, and concentrating a lot on fielding. We used to be a top fielding side. Unfortunately, we have dipped in the last few years. I think with these things we can expect some great achievements in the future.
And in all your years of course we must remind our viewers that you started your career at this network.
Exactly.
And so it's welcome back home.
Thank you.
And it's nice to have you here.
It's great to be here as well. It started way back in 1999. I'm really blessed, and I'm thankful to Maharaja Organization, and especially Mr. Raja Mahendran, for giving me the opportunity at a young age, and I'm really thankful to them.
Thank you very much. It's again, as I say, it's a pleasure that you're here. In all these years, what's your... I just want you to comment on the speech that Kumar Sangakkara gave at the Colin Cowdrey.
Yeah, that was 2011, and I still remember, I was in England that tour, And I was trying to get a ticket to go to the Cowdrey lecture, and the MCC said, no way, it's all sort of, the free tickets are all given, and if you are going to attend the speech, you got to pay. I think they had priced some £300 a ticket.
Oh, really?
I couldn't afford that much. So thankfully, one of my friends, the late Christopher Martin Jenkins, bless him, he's a journalist. Used to work for several years for the Times.
I can hear his voice coming over the radio.
I know, yeah. And BBC Test Match Special.
Yeah.
And fortunately, he was the president of MCC, and actually he had invited Kumar. So I knew him, and I went and said, CMJ, I'd like to attend this. Is it possible for you to, make sure that, I get something? So yeah, within 10 minutes I got an invitation, and I went there. I was absolutely stunned, I think he got a standing ovation, which lasted for about 3-4 minutes, and very proud to be Sri Lankan that night. And some of the Sri Lankans who were present there, I remember very well Mr. Vijay Malasekar was there. He was in tears. He was a former board president, and he was in tears. And many other Sri Lankans as well. So absolutely unbelievable moment that was. I'm really happy that I made that.
That was an outstanding moment in our
I think they
nation's
say
history,
that
actually.
the stewards at Lords, when they see black skin, they very disrespectfully talk to you, asking, "Oi, where are you going?"
Yeah.
But after that speech, the respect was so immense. They call you sir. Excuse me, sir, can I help you? Kind of things.
Absolutely wonderful. What Mr. Kumar Sangakkara did for us, actually, and such outspokenness. Do you think that there's any possibility that Kumar will be entering politics?
I hope not.
Right.
Politics is not his cup of tea.
Talking about tears and so on, what is this business? Why was Chaminda Vas probably in tears? Why? What happened?
I think Bandulana, this what I was trying to say is, in one of my articles, I was talking about, the Sri Lankans' reluctance to give bowlers the captaincy.
Yeah.
That was, the centerpiece of the article. This was after Ranganerat had been given the Test captaincy, 33 years after another bowler, D.S.T. Silva, had captained Sri Lanka. So, during this 33-year gap, you see that, a lot of other countries have given captaincy to a lot of bowlers. I think Australia is the only exception. I think after Richie Benaud in 1963, no bowler has captained Australia.
Oh, that's a big statistic.
Yeah, it's 53 years. So Richie Benaud was the last bowler. Shane Warne would have probably captained Australia, if not for his off-the-field activities.
Right.
And so all the other countries have sort of, given the fast bowlers a go. We are the only nation that, sort of reluctant to sort of give the bowlers the captaincy. Recently, Anil Kumble was leading India, and if you take England, Andrew Flintoff was captaining them very recently. And I think there's been some sort of reluctance. I felt that Chaminda Vas was the most deserving guy who never captained Sri Lanka. It's because, he was vice captain to Mahavanatapattu in 2005, and he had been playing for the national team for about 11 years by that stage.
Yeah.
He had been a member of the World Cup winning team. He had all the credentials. He had captained his club, Coles.
So what went wrong?
I think there was this perception created by some player agents that Vas had...
Player agents? The players have agents?
Yes.
Okay. What, like managers?
Yes, correct.
Right. Okay. What do they do? What's their role?
They're supposed to, get the players' endorsements, and
You mean they're the marketing arm of the
exactly,
player?
yeah.
Okay.
So, they've got, huge commissions.
Right.
Most of them, they get like 10% from whatever the contract that the players sign. So it's big money. I think there was a conspiracy in 2005 to deny Vas of the national captaincy because one player agent wanted one of the players managed by him to be given the captaincy.
Who was that player?
I'd not rather mention his name.
Right. Okay.
I think, if you just go through the statistics and stuff, it's not very difficult for you to find out.
Right.
But it's very unfortunate. I think Vas was really deserving the captaincy because he's been a extremely loyal servant of Sri Lankan cricket. I mean, no doubts about his commitment. A wonderful person. So he was basically, when this perception was created that he had sought political interference for him to be appointed as the vice captain, he was hurt. And then what happened was some of the senior players turned against him. And when they turned against him, he was, I think the team was in New Zealand at that point.
Right.
He was in tears, and I don't think, they had emails very popular those days. So I remember that, he sent a fax to the cricket board saying that, he doesn't want to be considered the vice captain anymore. So, sad story.
And how do these agents apply their influence, if you like?
Well, see, it's a vast topic. I mean, if you take Dilshan in his retirement speech, some of the stuff that he said about player agents are outrageous. And I'm really surprised as to why the administrators or the sports ministry hasn't launched an inquiry as to what happened and some of the things that took place. I think he was sort of made to look as the bad guy of Sri Lankan cricket.
Right.
And he was sort of made responsible some of the things that he never did. And it's just that it looked as if, these player agents would do anything if any of the players who are not managed by them are to be made Sri Lanka's captain.
Right. I see. It's all very sad, but when the cricket board is talking to a player in terms of their contract and so on and so forth, does the cricket board in Sri Lanka, does Sri Lanka cricket talk to the player directly, or do they talk via a manager, agent, if that player had one?
See, the thing is, Sri Lankan cricket board deals directly with the players.
Right.
Some time back, they tried to bring in this law saying, they will not recognize player agents.
Right.
And it was about a couple of years ago. I think the status quo remains.
Right.
And they deal directly with the player. But then when the player wants to get other endorsements,
Right.
they go through the agent.
Through the agent.
Yes.
I see. So it's not a direct involvement, but a subtle sort of
Correct.
thrust from the sidelines.
Yes.
And is there anything in the rules that recognizes managers or not?
So globally, all the cricketers have their agents or managers, and we can't be sort of secluded. We need
What kind of money do you think these agents get?
10% from all the deals the players make. Let's say they endorse a product, whatever.
How expensive? I have no knowledge of this. So how expensive is?
I think firstly I would say that for example, let's take the first IPL.
Yeah.
First IPL, Sanath Jayasuriya was brought by Mumbai Indians, Mukesh Ambani, for $975,000.
Right.
Almost $1 million. So the commission of the player agent was $97,500.
Where do you think the income tax accrues to all this?
Good question.
I'm interested because, by the way, Rex, do you know anything about bonds?
The only bond that I know is James Bond.
Right. I mean, I was hoping you'd know something about bond, treasury bond.
No.
The reason I ask you is now the central bank has agents for the bond market. They're called primary dealers. So similarly, does Sri Lanka cricket endorse this group of? Is there a group of managers?
Yeah, there are about 4 or 5 guys. I don't think the cricket board endorses them. It's just that individual thing between the player and the person concerned.
I see. Just take a short break and come right back. Don't go away. This is Newsline, after all.
Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
And welcome back to Newsline, where we're live with Rex Clementine, the sports editor of the Island newspaper. Cricket is perhaps the only item that has held the national interest more than the Treasury bond matter, in current terms anyway. We were talking about agents and the article that you'd written in the Island. So, who is Charlie Austin?
There are several agents, player agents in the country, and he is one of them.
Okay.
He manages, I think, some of the high-profile cricketers, past and present.
I see. And but these are all sort of marketing arrangements,
Correct.
as opposed to dealing with the cricket board.
No, it's not much to do with dealing with the cricket board. It used to be.
Right.
Player agents used to. I remember there was one particular player. Player agents used to tell the cricket team's physio that such so and so should not, do fielding drills for more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes because he's got a lot of cricket ahead. Obviously, they were.
Oh, really? They got down to that level of engagement?
Yeah. It was really getting out of hand. But I think, thankfully, a couple of years back, they put an end to it, saying, the board will not directly deal with the player agents. But I think, these people have subtle ways to move around, and they have, their own ways of getting things done.
Is there a move to regularize this thing, to formalize the presence of agents?
I think what they're trying to do now is to sort of get a team to work with the players, the team from the cricket board to work with the players on this aspect.
Yeah.
And that's something that they are looking at. But I don't know how far that will be successful. I think it has got the attention of a lot of people, the cricket board, the sports minister. I think the sports minister made some startling revelations about this aspect recently. So definitely, it has been sort of talked on quite a lot. And hopefully, there'll be some measures taken. Not to take the thing completely out of the picture. There are certain good things as well. But however, to make sure that there's some regulation. That these people don't sort of do things. Things don't get out of hand. We don't want to see whatever Chaminda Vas suffered, the fate that Chaminda Vas suffered or Dilshan suffered happening to another player. It's just unbelievable. To think. I think. For example, Vas, he still regrets that he never had the opportunity of leading Sri Lanka in a test match. He was the most deserving guy. He has done all the hard work. There's not a single fast bowler has taken 300 wickets. Count the amount of fast bowlers who have taken more than 100 wickets for Sri Lanka. So Vas is the only guy who's gone on to take 300 wickets. He's totally committed to the national team. A genuine guy, and is really focused about what he's doing. It's such a shame that he never had the opportunity of leading the country.
What does he do now?
I think he's got a couple of bowling. He was the bowling consultant for Ireland during the World T20. Currently, I think Sri Lanka Cricket were trying to recruit him as one of their bowling coaches. He was with the Sri Lankan Cricket Board some time back. But I think once his contract will move on, and I think Arvind De Silva, who's heading our cricket committee, is very keen on getting Vas's services back.
I see. Now, with so many of these big names and successful names retiring, like Mr. Sangakkara and Mr. Jayawardena and Dilshan, how conducive is the environment for these gentlemen, these former players, to enter and play a role in the administration of Sri Lanka cricket?
See, it's probably, although these guys are retired, some of them are still, playing county cricket or, some 2020 leagues. Mahal and Kumar are currently in Bangladesh playing the BPL, and Kumar is contracted to play for Surrey next season as well. So I think they'll probably go on. It's rather than, administration. I think if they can sort of think of some other role to get involved, especially like coaching, I think that will be quite keen. I have a feeling that Kumar has already got a couple of offers to be involved in coaching. I think South Africa have shown some sort of interest
Oh, really?
their batting consultant. That's what I heard. I do not know whether he has agreed. Murli was consultant for Australia recently,
Of all countries.
which is a great thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it? It's a great thing. So if Kumar accepts that role as the batting consultant for South Africa, that would be absolutely sensational.
But sensational, but would it be Sri Lanka's loss?
It will be. But I think, these roles, these consultant roles, they're not sort of, long-term contracts.
Right.
These are, brief contracts for maximum for 2 months,
I
and
see.
that's it. So, that's fine, the knowledge will be shared, and, they'll be very keen to learn from one of the, not only the greatest batsman, but one of
But
the...
is there a way? I've often wondered, I've asked the question from some of the targets that I'm about to say. They've given their explanations, but I'd like to ask you, why is it, Mr. Clementine, that at the Board of Control, or Sri Lanka Cricket as it's now called, Dharmadasa, Sumatipala, Dharmadasa, Ranatunga, Dharmadasa, Sumatipala, Ranatunga, blah blah. There's only 3 names. Why? Why do you have to be Dharmadasa to head Sri Lanka cricket? What about Bandula Jayasekara? He's travelled to 57 countries. He's probably played a bit of cricket, but he hasn't played first-class cricket and all that. But why is it? What is it in the system? Is it system?
We are mentioning Ranatunga, but even Ranatunga couldn't win the election. The system is so sort of, the system is such. It's very difficult to contest the election and win it. Arjuna tried, I think, twice, and both occasions he failed.
Why? What's inherent in the system? How can somebody do a Donald Trump?
It's very difficult, actually. Although Arjuna won, I think, over 150,000 votes in the general election from the Dampa district,
He could only make 6 or 7 votes of the cricket.
That was the last time when he contested as the president, but when he contested as the vice president this time around, he got more votes. But certainly, not something that will be impressive.
Not enough to make a difference.
Yeah, he himself has said that, Arjuna himself has said that it's impossible to win the cricket election because the system is such. So many clubs voting, so many
We'll come right back to you, Mr. Clementine. We're going to go for a short break. Don't go away. This is Newsline. And in case you have any doubts, you're watching Newsline on TV1 with Rex Clementine this morning. So what is it? Why is it that somebody can't do a Donald Trump at Sri Lanka cricket?
Yeah, I think, as I said, the system is such that there are too many clubs voting, and it's practically impossible for any outsider to get in and win a cricket election. A lot of people have. I think some of the people who are probably capable of, doing a Donald Trump, don't want to come there and contest. That issue. Yeah, that is an issue also there. You often find that there's so much of negative reporting on the cricket board.
Yes, but I'm glad you mentioned that, because every committee or whatever that comes in, they say, oh, corruption, and then they have something. By the end of that term, there's no evidence of that. It's almost like the FCID and Pressifac, because maybe they should have looked at these things before, because one side comes and says, oh, something wrong there, and that comes and says something wrong there. Nobody has ever been charged with anything.
Yeah.
And I get the feeling that all these gentlemen are all committed to the noble game of cricket, and they all do things in their own way, and they all believe, each of them believes that they're doing the right thing, and they probably are. But my question is really very simple. When are we going, why can't we have completely new blood? Why not Sangakkara? Why not Mahela?
I think New Zealand cricket, they have got a lady as their chairperson heading their cricket board, which is a great thing. I don't know when it's going to happen in Sri Lanka, but it's a great start. First time ever a country has had a female as a head of the board. It's very
well. There's a lot of sexual harassment claims going on at Sri Lanka cricket, and maybe that's why these ladies, like some of these outsiders who don't want to do a Donald Trump, maybe there are equally there are ladies out there who want to, but they don't want to.
Yeah, I think the government has taken some initiatives to bring in certain individuals to head the cricket board at certain times, to bring in transparency. I think Mr. Regency Vijaytilaka and Mr. Ema Kamarasuri are two of the finest cricket board chairmen that we had. Honourable men above board, and they had a clear focus. And I think the cricket developed as well. So there are ways and means.
But we must work at it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the government can, by putting an interim committee, they can sort of, sort out that issue. But the problem is, the recent governments, I mean, the initial few interim committees, like, the committee headed by committed by Prince Vijaytilaka and Ema Kamarasuriya and then Vijay Malasekara, I mean, they had some decent people in it. But subsequent committees, they turned out to be sort of, political appointments. That didn't probably work out well. And what happened was, some of these individuals who were in this interim committee, after serving 1 year, the next year they were going to contest the elections. So that doesn't talk too well.
Thank you, Rex Clementine. Thank you very much for being on Newsline. And well done, by the way. The 35th anniversary of the Island newspaper was yesterday. Well done to all the team. Team Island. Well done. On that note, thank you, take care, and have a great day. God bless.
News First, Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.